Hello students, in our last video I have discussed with the chapter on Indian Constitution as a revision part. Prior to that I have completed one chapter, that is Akbar. Today I will start with a new chapter, that is Shahjahan, Jahangir, Shahjahan and Aurangzeb. Now let me tell you that starting from Babur, then came Humayun, then Akbar, then Jahangir, Shahjahan, Aurangzeb. So it was during the period of Aurangzeb that the disintegration of the Mughal Empire started, and finally these 6 rulers are known as the Greater Mughals, because it was during these rulers period that the Mughal dynasty reached its the glorious part. But because of some policies of Aurangzeb, the Mughal dynasty started to decline. Today we will discuss about Shahjahan and Aurangzeb. Jahangir, Shahjahan and Aurangzeb. Now Akbar's reign was important because he was able to consolidate and efficiently administer the Mughal Empire. Because Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, got a very less time to consolidate the empire. Unfortunately, his son Humayun, who could not do any good to the Mughal dynasty, rather, it was during his time that he was badly defeated by the Afghan Sher Shah, and he had to flee, and he wandered in the forest for next 15 years. But fortunately for Humayun and unfortunately for Sher Shah, that while Sher Shah was planning to go for a siege of the Kalinjar fort, the gunpowder explosion took place and Sher Shah died. So this provided an opportunity to Humayun to once again recapture Delhi. But he also could not survive for long. Just after 1 year, he also died. While he was coming down from his library in the Purana Kila, his leg got trapped into his robe, that is the long dress worn by the emperors. He fell down and he died. After that, his minor son Akbar, that we have all discussed, Akbar ruled, and then after Akbar, he was succeeded by his son Prince Selim, whose real name was Jahangir. He took the title of Jahangir, which means one who seizes the world. So Akbar's reign was important because he was able to consolidate and efficiently administer the Mughal Empire. His successors Jahangir, Shahjahan and Aurangzeb extended the empire farther. The empire, however, began to decline after Aurangzeb, because it was some good policies of Akbar that the Mughal dynasty reached its climax, and it was some wrong policies adopted by Aurangzeb for which the decline of the Mughal Empire started. Akbar, he was succeeded by his son Prince Selim, who took the title of Jahangir, which means the Caesar, one who seizes the world. He continued Akbar's policy of expansion of the Mughal Empire. So the Mughal Empire, at one point of time, the empire was so big that it was never in the history, no dynasty has such a big kingdom. Then the important battles which was fought by Jahangir, but by his general. First of all, in 1614, the Rana of Mewar, which we have discussed, that the Rana of Mewar, Rana Uday Singh, and then his son Rana Pratap, the battle of Haldi Ghati. But Mewar never came under the control of Akbar or the Mughals. But in 1614, the Rana of Mewar was defeated by the Mughal forces led by Khurram, Jahangir's third son. Jahangir was generous and he gave back the Rana his territory. So after defeating also, his territory was given back on the ground that he will have to accept the suzerainty of the Mughal emperor. So the land had been conquered by the Mughal, he had to accept the overlordship of the Mughal. With that, peace came to Mewar after almost a century. Now if you remember that most of the Rajput kingdom surrendered and accepted the overlordship of the Mughals. The only exception was the ruler of Mewar. But with the defeat of with this defeat, the Rana of Mewar, the Mewar came under the control of the Mughals. Another person who created problem for the Mughals was the Malik Ambar. He was the able general of Ahmednagar. He made it difficult for the Mughals to consolidate their power in the Deccan. He was finally defeated by Khurram, and for this, Khurram got the title of Shah Jahan, or Lord of the World. Khurram also captured Kangra fort but lost. So these are all his achievements. Only one negative was that the strategically and most commercially, he lost the important Kandahar to the Persians in 1622, which he could never recover again. So it was commercially for the business purpose and for its strategic location. This Kangra fort was the Kangra fort was very important, and it Khurram lost it to the Persians. Kandahar to the Persians. Khurram captured Kangra fort, but the one negative aspect was that his Kandahar was lost and it was taken away by the Persian, and which Shah Jahan could never get it back. Now, another important feature of Jahangir was his bell of justice. Now, it is said that Emperor Jahangir was famous for his commitment to justice. He was always in favor of giving justice to his subjects. In the Tuzuki Jahangiri, which is the autobiography written by the emperor himself about himself, his autobiography, Jahangir writes, according to Jahangir, an unjust society and an unjust government are like moth-eaten wood that may fall down any time. So according to Jahangir, what he says, that if the society is unjust, that means if there is exploitation, if there is deprivation, if there is no equality in the society, and an unjust government, if the government is partial towards some people and it is unjust, then it is like a moth-eaten wood. Moth-eaten wood means when in wood there is a type of insect, that is the white termites. So the white termites destroys the wood. It eats the wood and destroys. As a result, what happens? The wood becomes very feeble. The wood becomes very weak, and at any point of time it can break. So the same thing he has compared, that moth-eaten wood may fall down any time and bring down with it everything. So if it breaks, suppose a building or a structure which is made up of wood and it is moth-eaten, what will happen? The entire structure will fall. So he has compared it with his society or his kingdom, that if the kingdom is unjust, the ruler is unjust, the government unjust, in such case it is just like a moth-eaten wood which will fall at any time. In the same way, the kingdom might collapse. The ruler, the ruled, and the kingdom all will face the problem. It is said that he had a chain of justice. Chain of justice put up outside his palace, and any person who was in trouble could pull the chain and talk to the emperor directly. So this was that there was a chain, and if any person had any problem, then they could ring the bell. And after hearing the bell, Jahangir would understand that the person is in problem. So in such case, Jahangir would come and solve the problem directly of the subject. Then in 1611, Jahangir married Nur Jahan, the widow of a Persian noble, Sher Afghan. Nur Jahan was a generous and a talented woman, and she became so important that she started to struck coins in her name. Usually in my online class, what I said, that actually it is the emperors who used to stuck their name in the coin. But Nur Jahan became so famous that she also got her name, it struck into the coins. Nur Jahan's father as well as brother, they also got important position in the court. And her niece, Mumtaz Mahal, was married to Jahangir, the Jahangir's son, Shah Jahan. So all of you know that in memory of Mumtaz Mahal, the famous Taj Mahal, one of the wonders of the world, was built by Shah Jahan. Nur Jahan was known to give orders to the officers and have coins struck in her name. However, but it was only when Jahangir was in his deathbed. Jahangir was very seriously ill. Then the entire administration was taken by Nur Jahan. She entered active politics only after 1622 when Jahangir's health began to deteriorate, and she soon became the virtual ruler of the empire. But as Jahangir's reign was about to end, then Jahangir's son Shah Jahan revolted against Nur Jahan. So Shah Jahan was the heir apparent. That means he was supposed to be the next ruler. So with the death of Jahangir and the proclamation of Shah Jahan as the emperor, Nur Jahan also withdrew from active politics. So today we will do up to this. Next day we will start with the coming of the English. So once again I will tell you that I have taken your online class. We have discussed in the video. So please go through the chapter thoroughly. It will help you to understand. Okay, thank you.